our platforms. What's up? What's going on, everybody? We got Bitcoin Zay back in the house.
We are live, and I am alive.
He is alive. Listen,
Barely.
I was about to call the search party out for him. I was sending him fines, all that stuff. This guy's missing shows. We're just getting started, but he's muscling up for the day, though.
Hey, somebody try to take me out, man. They already see us.
They see us doing well. They don't want us to win.
Take me out, man. It's all good though. I'm alive. I'm good.
Hey, as always, thank you for tuning in to the Gentlemen of Crypto. This is episode 6. If you saw in the title already, it is CEO of Horse and Carriage calls Bitcoin a fraudulent scam, and of course the digital world war. That's what we're going to be talking about today. And if you haven't seen already, this Bitcoin shirt Bitcoin Zay has on is dope as I don't know what. I need to get me a couple and start wearing around Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna walk around today, see if some people will say something.
Everybody's gonna be like, "Isn't it for criminals?"
Yeah, I'm sure. Let's see.
Hey, we're gonna talk about it today. We have that on there. We have Ethereum.
There's so many layers to this story. It's ridiculous.
Listen, people. The reason why we keep going back to a lot of old stuff we talk about is because I'm telling you, it's not a conspiracy theory anymore. All right, it's just too many facts, too many dates lining up, and it's always Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and fiat money in the conversation. So just start adding stuff together. It gets interesting. But the first thing we're gonna talk about is, of course, JP Morgan. JP Morgan's CEO, was it Dimon? I know sometimes people correct us when we say the wrong name, but we do it because we just don't care.
I just call him Young Jamie.
Young Jamie. Well, no, he's a dinosaur the way he's acting. So Jamie is he's a CEO of JP Morgan Chase. That's the person we're talking about the title of, and it's basically when cars were being built, the people at the horse and carriage companies were saying, well, cars would never work. It's a scam. Yeah. That's what Yeah, that's right. Yep, we're gonna talk about that. So Jamie Dimon, him and the rest of the gang right now are all basically. Well, first we're gonna talk about him personally. This is the guy who was partly responsible, allegedly responsible for the 2008 housing crash and financial markets crashing. This is the guy who was fined, $13 billion back when it happened.
$28 billion over the last 4 years.
$28 billion over the last 4 years. He has been getting fined nonstop, billions of dollars. And he's never had a criminal trial. They just give him fines because he pays off people and he's good to go. This is also the guy who was behind one of the biggest frauds in the era of the United States that almost led to our collapse. I'm looking at stuff I wrote, but it's just not enough bad things to say about this person. And he still has a voice on the worldwide stage when it comes to finances, and people still listen.
Which is weird because he said the same thing in 2012, same thing in 2013, 2015 he said it, which is the most recent time he said it. The prices actually went up 1,000% since the last time he said it. So if you want to use that as a marker, it might go up another 1,000%. But it's funny that he says it because, like somebody mentioned earlier, they actually have a Ethereum Alliance thing going on. They're trying to implement blockchain technology. They have patents pending right now.
Like you have to understand, the CEO of JP Morgan, he got on stage and told everybody Bitcoin was fraudulent. Bitcoin's going to eventually go down.
He said it was going to close.
Yeah, he said it's going to close. Boy, he said it's going to close after the $100,000 mark.
Yeah.
Well, we have 5,000 now, trying to get there. 100,000 is still a great return to keep going with. Yeah, but anyway. And he said those things, but like the Bitcoin Zay said, at the same time, this guy is basically throwing a cryptocurrency party in his office, like literally the same day he had a meeting for it. And literally right now, he's been denied for a lot of patents, but he's been filing for blockchain and Bitcoin related patents for like the last few years, just like the other big bankers have. Yeah. So the fact that he's going on stage and he's blatantly telling his investors and others lies, that is fraud. That should be a criminal charge. That is fraud. But I don't know. This is a funny thing to me.
Yeah, it's a lot to go into. His own employee called him out on Twitter and said, "Look, you don't know how to trade, Jamie. You're not a trader. Why are you speaking on this? Why are you talking about people trading Bitcoin?" Which I'm pretty sure he trades Bitcoin, the guy who said it. And then his daughter has Bitcoin. I kind of compared it to in the 90s where all these people were like, rap is bad, rap is terrible, you shouldn't listen to it. And then they would come home and their kids would listen to it more than anybody else.
Right.
And now it's number one in the world and nobody even blinks when they see 2 Chainz on a commercial now for shoes or, Migos on an Adidas commercial. Nobody blinks anymore. So
Oh, well,
we'll get to that point.
And also, I posted something today on my personal page as well as on our Facebook page and Twitter. But it's basically about how back in '95 they had a news segment. I think it was like '94, '95, talking about the internet. And, you should have saw people. It's the internet. It's an at. You put an at symbol at somebody. What does this mean? So it was a lot of interesting things. So we're gonna get into the price and everything. I see price stuff coming up. Listen, people, we got you. But so how this plays into the whole thing. One thing you have to understand, I know a lot of people, I got a text from somebody the other day, a guy I used to work with, he's a good guy or whatever, but people are always texting us out the blue just to tell us, like basically, well, we're not telling you Bitcoin's going to fail, but this is something we should look at. And he basically was saying about North Korea trying to hack Bitcoin from South Korea. I don't know. It's two things going on right now that you must understand, like, and fully encompass everything. First of all, there is a digital world war going on right now. We are in World War III.
Yeah.
We are officially in World War III. Yeah. Everybody's in the U.S., North Korea, China, Russia, Japan, Britain. Like, everybody's in this digital war right now. Why do you think all these hacks are happening to Bitcoin? I mean, you get Equifax just got hacked. Half of the country's social security numbers are on the dark web. Gone. Do you understand that? I mean, this is a world war already. Just because they haven't announced it doesn't mean we're not in it. And you better believe, from the United States point of view, they've been preparing for this war as well. We have all types of what we call now cyber warriors. They have the commercials for them. They have their own pen. So we are in a war right now. It is ongoing. And because we're in a war, what's the main thing everybody's trying to do and get? They're trying to have control of currency. And right now, there's a thing to have control of a worldwide international currency. What banks want to do, JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon, and some of these other big companies and organizations, what they want to do is separate blockchain from Bitcoin. They want those to be two separate entities because technically they feel like they can just use the blockchain technology and create their own version of Bitcoin, except it will still be owned by the banks and government. But they know if they do that early enough, and they do a lot of marketing and all that, people will fall for it. They'll just tell you, hey, this is the JP Morgan coin. You'll still have your bank account with us. You don't need to worry. And people will fall for it. Whereas the technology is already there.
Exactly. And I personally have seen this coming for years because, like I said, they've had patents pending for Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase since 2013, 2014. They tried the R3 convention where they tried to get banks together to create their own consortium. That fell apart. Now they're teaming up with Ethereum, trying to get different things built on there. So, in my opinion, what's happening with what's that?
Yeah. Somebody said you say your phone number is more valuable than your social security number because of all the hacks. Yeah. And that is true. Your phone number, and you got to start guarding that.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean, what I'm seeing now is like you stated before, they just need to push the price down for most people so that they can buy back in country-wise. But you also have bankers trying to defend their company. This isn't literally how they feel. This is just them defending their company. I'm sure fax machine operators were telling people how bad email was back then.
Right, that's true.
Why would you need that? I mean, you want a piece of paper in your hand, you want to touch it, right? Why would you want it to be digital? And people back then probably felt very confident by saying, if you can touch the paper, then that's real. If they have to email it to you, it could get lost in cyberspace somewhere. It's not some scary place anymore. There's actual technology. You can read it, you can find it, it's verifiable. You don't have to touch everything for it to be real. You use Wi-Fi every day, but you've never felt it.
You never know the technology behind it.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I mean, we've seen technology work. When it works, it works. That's why I like it, because there is no politicizing it. There's no glossing over it. I mean, Jamie Dimon's own daughter bought Bitcoin, so like we said before, he can politicize it all he wants, but if younger people want it, then they're going to push out banks.
Exactly. It's all business for banks. And kind of going, like I said, I posted a thing from the internet, like I said, it's on our Facebook and our Twitter here at Kirby Crypto. There's a long post I did, but it's basically about, I remember I got my first computer back in 97, okay? Like, I'm a kid. I ended up getting accepted to charter school to give everybody free computers, get on the computer, start learning about all this stuff. And I mean, I'm telling you, I remember when it was like dial-up, just everything. Like, you had to know how to do a lot of stuff, so you learn quickly. But the moment of that little era for me is when 99 to 2000 was hitting. I already set it up. I planned to as soon as the clock strikes 12 to turn on the computer or have the computer turned on and see what happens, and work backwards to figure out what's going on. I had it set up, and literally about a minute before the countdown was starting, my mom came in there. She screamed at me. She's going frantic, crazy, like, turn it off, like, you're gonna mess it up, and just everything's gonna end. And she goes crazy or whatever. I turned off the computer, so I didn't get to see what happened. But my point is that self-preservation people have. They don't look at the facts. They don't internet. No, nothing's clicking. They just think about self-preservation, and that's what the banks are doing at this point. Like you said, and I say every day, I highly doubt these bankers are into Bitcoin. All right, I mean they know how to hedge their risks and hedge their bets. Yeah. But right now, what you're seeing is that for one, if Bitcoin wasn't important, if Bitcoin was going to be around, if Bitcoin wasn't going to last, if all this bad stuff was true about Bitcoin, then the CEO of JP Morgan would not put his name in that same sentence of it. People would not be talking about it. Mm-hmm. Let's talk.
Won't regulate it.
Right.
Or try to regulate it.
People wouldn't talk about it. Right now, you literally have the entire world talking about it, the entire world betting on it, which shows you its importance. And so what they're doing, Bitcoin's there alluded to it, but right now it's this concerted effort. It is a concerted effort. Like I said, it's a world war. It's a concerted effort to drive this price down. So you're getting it from bankers. You're getting it from the governments, the different governments. You're getting it from large organizations. The goal for the wealthy elite right now is to just drive this price down.
And to keep control.
And to keep control. They want to buy as much as they can.
Scare you out of...
And the last thing I'll say on it before I throw it back to Bitcoin Zay is this. For every seller, there's a buyer, people. Think of it like that. The reason why the price gets driven down the way it is because people are selling in mass and they're trying to short it as they're selling. Some of the bigger whales who they have control of the market, they're selling their own stake and they're shorting it. So they're making money regardless. That's the way the market works for those who don't really know how to trade. But while they're doing that, the main goal is to drive the price down for me and my buddies. This is about to be our last time to buy it this low.
Exactly. And I will say it did hit a quick bounce this morning at 38.20, I believe. So for those of you waiting for 3,200, remember those of you who were waiting for 1,900 like a month ago, and it stopped at about 27 or 22 and bounced back up. You may want to look into it a little more because when everybody agrees on something, you should start thinking opposite. When everybody starts thinking, oh, it's going to go down, works. That's usually when it bounces back, which is confirmed this morning. Usually there's a Monday or hangover type bounce with Bitcoin. So when everybody's like, oh, it's going down, it usually pops back up. So 3,600.
It's all wishful thinking. You never know.
You never really know, but I would accumulate as much as possible at this level and wait to see at the 28, 27 level. But I just don't see it going that far. It's too many people invested in trying to buy it right now. So.
And not only that, here's the thing, people, and I say this with all sincerity because I know I talk to people who ask me a ton of questions about Bitcoin. I've talked to family members who ask me questions on stuff I've sent them. I'm like, have you read it yet? And they're like, no. I'm like, well, do you know how much charge an hour? Yeah. But read the Bitcoin white paper. It's so many people who haven't even read the Bitcoin white paper. It's literally like a 5-minute read tops. It is not a long read. It's not hard to understand. But read the Bitcoin white paper.
Just read the first page.
Read the first page. And the reason why I say that is because if you read the white paper and you actually believe in the technology, you see, you do your own due diligence if you want, but you see what the goal is, you see the technology, you see the people working behind it, then you'll understand this conversation right now, it won't matter. It literally won't matter. I remember, we were talking about the $500, $600, $700 range. That doesn't matter now. If I were to talk about $700, some of you would look at me crazy. Yeah. But the reality is, right now, if it went down to $700, I still would have a crazy return on my investment. Mm-hmm. So,
and that's because it's been some time. So for those of you just getting into it, wait some time. Give it some time. I mean, some of the stuff coming is actually good, because of the FUD and all the people going against it. That means it's really about to blow up. Because last time I remember this much FUD and stuff going on was the last big jump, which was what was that, March or so, where it really jumped up. And people were talking about the ETF, and people were talking about how China might ban it again. China did ban it, quote unquote. So the last time this happened was only, 6 months ago. And all you have to do is just wait it out usually, and also make sure you believe in what you're investing in. Don't just buy, randomly. But yeah, it should be good there.
Somebody just commented they basically stopped telling people about Bitcoin and crypto because they just want to keep the community intact. Yeah. We're definitely with it. The only thing is you want that mainstream adoption, but it is frustrating. Which is, once again, I don't have any shame in saying it. We do charge people for it because it is frustrating, telling people something they don't want to believe. But then, like I said, they always hit you up the next day with a text message out the blue, and they won't respond again. It's always weird.
I always get texts when something bad, quote unquote, happens.
Yeah, when something bad happens, you get the text.
And then I just text them the price that I entered at. And I just be like, that doesn't matter.
Well, here's the thing, too. You really ask yourself, and this is the one thing I don't think a lot of people have done. Why are people so against Bitcoin and cryptocurrency? It's supposed to help people. It's supposed to reach the masses. They're saying there's almost 4 billion people on the earth. So almost, how much is it? How many people on earth? Like 7.2 or something?
7 billion.
Right. So over half of people on the earth don't have access to banking or good banks, basically. So this is for, this is something to help them. This is something to help for all those people who are in social justice. Try uprising in another country where they're killing their citizens. This is for them, where they have a means to get money. For the people who are immigrants in different countries or people who are on vacation, you can send money back. Like, there's nothing but positive after positive after positive. Are there some dark players in it? Yeah. There's dark players in there. There's dark players on the internet. We're going to shut down the entire internet.
Yeah. And somebody said something about Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot.
He always tells me to watch it. I haven't watched it.
I told him to watch it because they literally, it's basically like the writers are in Bitcoin and Ethereum. And they basically just predicted the future of what's going to happen and wrote it into the show. Because, they'll fight something they're comfortable with. Yep, absolutely. Because in Mr. Robot, that's what they talk about, taking down a big corporation with something similar to Bitcoin, and they created their own e-coin. So, I mean, we can see it's already happening. It's right in front of you. All you got to do is accept it and then just be prepared.
Right.
So, from there, you should be good.
Yeah. Under 4K, that means buy the dip. Trust me. I was actually trying to wait until like the 39 to 4,000 mark to start buying again when it was at 4,200. And I mean, he gave me that look like really like maybe it'll go there, maybe it won't. So just buy it and hold it. I mean, it's definitely a long-term play regardless. You can get money in the short term, but long-term is what we're looking at to, like you said, to pass down generational wealth.
Second biggest. They want to. People in power want to keep power. So don't be surprised that these people are trying to figure out a way to accumulate as much, take it away, steal it outright, like VTCE. So, like we've discussed before. So
here's another good one. And I won't go too in depth with it because it's not necessarily all Bitcoin and crypto. But United States is threatening to sanction China if China does not follow the sanctions we sanctioned against North Korea. Here's the thing with that. From just a straight thank you for watching. Just from a straight political and kind of military background standpoint, I think the chances of China really sanctioning North Korea are slim to pretty much nil. Yeah. China will not, I tell people this all the time too, China will not allow North Korea to fail. People, you need to realize that China will never allow North Korea to fail, no matter how bad it does, because they are to their south of their border. That is a huge border city and ally to them, just in case another country, who knows, will want to come. So China's not going to allow that to happen. What is going to get interesting, though, is to see how much China cares about these sanctions from our government, because right now the U.S. dollar isn't looking good. We just hit the highest, we talked about yesterday, we had a $20 trillion mark, highest debt-wise, debt mark in history. President Trump's talking about getting rid of the ceiling. China, we owe a lot of debt to them, and they mine Bitcoin, and they just shut down the exchanges and ICO, so Bitcoin stops leaving their country. Yeah. So once again, it comes back to Bitcoin and crypto. So we sanction them. It would be interesting to see how they care about the U.S. dollar at this point.
And I would be interested to see what they use to fund if they have to go to war. What would they fund it? How would they fund it? And I would guess it'd be Bitcoin. Which would be
you
hilarious.
Have to use Bitcoin.
Yeah, it'd be hilarious because you'd have people using Bitcoin for the reasons it wasn't invented. But hey,
yeah, that's right. They said everybody always needs a bad guy. Yeah, you're right.
Because how many real people have been in a war over the past couple of years? Like, how many wars have been going on? I mean, you'll know more than me. But how many real big time wars have, like World War III type things have gone on? Not many. I mean, since World War II, we've been at war, these past few years, but it's a slow build up to something that I think is bigger, which basically is the digital world war, so to say, which is what you see in these hacks. Data is probably more important now than even money. I mean,
right.
Data,
that's honest. Yeah, data is worth more than money.
That's basically what every software engineer is gunning for whenever they build an app, is to collect data and then sell it. I mean, or to collect that data and then use it to market other stuff. So data is pretty much the end all be all. So once that's stolen, glad to be back. Symmetry. Almost took me out, but yeah, data is important, and like I said, one of the things with Bitcoin is being able to freely work, in the market. Nobody in power wants that. They don't want free people. What you mean you want to be free? You want to do your own thing? Come on, man. Yeah.
Hey, I understand. I definitely. Somebody said they got the militaries. They never want to go back to Iraq and never want to go back to Korea. So Hey, completely understand. I mean, my thing is, I don't care about going places and doing things. My road wasn't a fighting road by any means, but I care about doing it for the right reasons. So if it's for the wrong reasons, I don't have my vote on that one.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody mentioned, I just want to get back to it. Somebody did ask about R3 getting sued by Ripple. So once again, we're already seeing it. It is people literally trying to come in and jack stuff by patenting it.
Give it my ripples.
And I'm not saying they did that or not. I don't know the full details of the story. But right now in the Bitcoin crypto community, you gotta remember, most of this stuff is open source. It's supposed to be free for everybody.
Yeah.
The complication is when they're starting to get in bed with these big organizations and all these other elites now who know how to use the legal system and tangle you up. They're trying to patent all this stuff. And it's like half of it is like, it's technically you can't patent it. Which is pissing me off. It's the same with Bitcoin. It's like, you can't tax it. It's not yours to tax.
Yeah.
So basically all the criminals are coming in full speed, and Ripple has a problem and they're fighting back against R3. They're trying to patent some of their software, and it's getting ugly. We'll see.
People trying to make sure they get their money now, because a lot of people are starting to see the value in it, which is crazy, because these same people were saying it wasn't worth anything a couple years ago. So they see the value in it, and XRP, like I said.
Right, So somebody said XRP, Ripple promised R3. So that's the story I read. I don't know the full details. They basically saying Ripple had promised them a certain amount at a certain price. I think it was something crazy like 0.0085 or something. Yeah. Of course, the price skyrocketed to was like 22 cents, which is still low, people, but it skyrocketed from that. And R3 said Ripple owed them amount. R3 came to collect. And Ripple either said, hey, they got everything's getting gangster right now. We are in a digital world war. I'm trying to tell you.
Gangster right now.
It is good. Listen, all these hacks and stuff, like people are getting knocked over left and right. Listen, HBO, I think Sony caught it a couple years ago, Equifax. Let's not even talk about exchanges. You talk about ICOs, government organizations. Like people are getting hacked left and right. It is a full-on war going on.
And banks get hacked all the time, but you don't hear about it because their fractional reserve. As long as they keep them numbers on the screen, when you log into your bank account, as long as them numbers are still there, you fine. They don't even have to have the cash in the building. Somebody could rob them for all the cash. They don't have to change anything.
So someone's saying how the R3 Ripple deal was the first smart options contract in the history so far, at least the biggest one. So they're thinking if this doesn't go right and doesn't play out the right way, then expect more regulation. Listen, anywhere they can squeeze in, they're gonna do it.
They're gonna try. Yeah, 36.50. Yeah, because that's where it bounced this morning when I saw it. 30. Yeah.
I mean, the bottom line is, okay, talk Bitcoin price real quick. Bottom line is, let's say Bitcoin is 3,000, 3,500, 4,000, 4,500. It's not going to make a difference. It's like right now it won't make a difference. Even if it goes down to 3,000, we have seen how fast it can shoot up. I mean, that's a fast jump to 3,000. It doesn't, unless you're really buying in bulk, our 20 Bitcoins plus people, then it doesn't matter. Like, it's nothing you can do about it. This is all the media. You gotta let this stuff play out. Let it calm down a little bit. Let them buy in because they're about to buy in. And then we'll see what comes on the other side. Yeah, it's on sale.
And one thing, numbers wise, if you want to throw out some numbers, whenever hedge funds look to invest in anything, usually it has to be worth at least $100 billion for them to invest. Right now, Bitcoin's market cap is at around 80. So if it hits that 100 billion mark this month, you'll start seeing hedge funds rush to it because it'll be something they technically can invest in without getting fired, so to say, because they don't do small companies, small things. So you'll start seeing these hedge funds. I mean, I saw one guy, he was talking about how as soon as it hits 100 billion in market cap, the price will probably go to 6,000 in a week. That's because I mean, all the money that's been waiting to pour into it, they really have to wait until they hit their target price, the dip, and then they'll go from there. So I wouldn't be surprised to see it hit 3 and then see a lot of people double their money in a month or two.
Well, I've said this too in one of our videos, people. One thing I learned military, I love it for our drill instructor taught us, 3 is a trend. Whenever 3 things are happening simultaneously, it's a trend. It's not just, maybe by chance. No, it's not by chance. The 3 things that are happening right now are governments, banks, and large-scale organizations coming after Bitcoin. And they're all screaming the same notes. I wouldn't be surprised if a certain group of people wrote them. No, like seriously, everybody has the same messaging behind it, and that drives the price down. So it's not anything that's happening out of the blue. It's a trend. supposed to happen. Let it happen because it can only go on for so long. We got to find out what's going on with our debt here soon. And whatever's said,
they lying.
Whatever's said, positive or negative, it will affect the price. Then you have the holiday season coming up, where traditionally Bitcoin's they show me the price always jumps, and then next year it's supposed to be great. So just hold on.
Yeah, first time is coincidence, second time is happenstance, third time is intermediate. Yeah,
right. So
absolutely, and I wholeheartedly agree with that. Let's see, or 12K by March. We were talking about that. As far as
you repeat it though, because a lot of people.
Okay, well, someone asked about if you use the Fibonacci levels. Do you see 12K Bitcoin in March? Actually, me personally, yes. I see it at that mark. Few other markers, Fibonacci, yes. Also, the increase in hedge funds investing. Also, for those of you who watch Cliff High, if you've ever heard of him, he's predicted 13,600 Bitcoin in February, March. So
February is 68.88, and then he says it's gonna shoot up.
And then shoot up from there. And see, one of the things, I don't really use Elliott waves that much. I use it when I have to, but not as much because TA is good, but knowledge about the market is better because
I was about to go there too. I was just about to say
you want, and then China just release some news tomorrow, and boom, you just lost. You got wrecked out of nowhere. So being able to catch news early, I won't say not sleeping, but basically that's what we do is not sleep.
So I just messaged somebody that he was like, "What time are you guys operating on? Y'all sleep?" I was like, "Not really."
Not really.
Like
it is kind of like naps here and there, but it's still like alerts on my phone. I can't really. Oh yeah, I mean I guess he could be to some people, but he's been right this whole year. So.
Well, and now that like you said, you got to make sure you're looking at what's going on in the market too. That's what I always tell people. I saw something on a chart today on one of the websites. They are charting out. So for one, they said something about so-and-so expert. There's no experts in this field. All right, there might be. If there are, there might be 10 to 15. That is it.
That's it.
It is maybe 10 to 15. So anybody who says expert, I'm already like, here we go.
Yeah, you got to be in it 10 years to be considered an expert, right?
Right.
And it's been around 8.
Right. So, but one of the things that I saw on there was they had this report. And they were saying, the price of Bitcoin is, because of this, it should drop here and should go up this time. I forgot the guy who did it. It's some new guy that he's put out there. I don't know. But the bottom line is, like you said, China can make an announcement tomorrow and wreck all those news, wreck all those plans. And that's the way the market's been going. That's the way it's going to continue to go. So, it's got to be 50-50. 50%, look at the charts and stuff. That's this 50 over here. 50%, hey, this calls people I know across seas to see what's going on. Let's figure it out.
True.
But you definitely got to balance that out. Thank you for all the likes, Guyana.
And I mean, for those of you who are, discouraged by some of this news or whatnot, all you have to do is think about the industry because Japan is letting 250,000 stores accept Bitcoin. People around the world are using Bitcoin more than ever. The increase in local Bitcoins volume is almost a straight line. People are like, well, you can ban exchange. Who cares? I use local Bitcoins, Paxful. I'll use hand-to-hand, something else. People will find a way. That's what I think.
They're going to find a way.
Yeah, people that are in
it's like alcohol. They're going to find a way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all those things drive the price, absolutely.
Yeah.
Fundamental analysis, tech analysis, FUD.
So one thing we gotta jump on real quick because I saw it, and it kind of has to do with the market. What has been a quiet sleeping? What I felt was a sleeping giant, but we left it alone only because there's already a war we're fighting on this end with just straight Bitcoin and crypto. We left this other thing alone. You know what? Somebody already took that show name, Cryptoholics, and I meant to tell you about that. I was like, that would have been a great show name. Somebody took it though.
Somebody took it, yeah.
But let's say, Potcoin, or not Potcoin, hemp coin, dope coin, all the pot coins jumped up today because I think it was Smoke or something. Somebody, I think one of the original founders of the Dope Coin project is making an exchange for all the marijuana coins and cannabis coins. So they all jumped. I think one this morning literally jumped up 172%. I believe it was hemp coin. I might be wrong. I know Dope Coin jumped. Another one jumped like 120-some% or 80. Another one did 80%. So like all of the pot coins and pot stocks jumped. But the reason why I make that point is because we were just talking about how you have to be on top of the information. I literally took a quick break today for a few hours, like try to get a little nap in, just relax, eat some food. And I came back and everything had jumped like 90% on those coins. And I didn't have alerts on them because they have been sleeping for and I use that term relative because Potcoin, I mean, we were eyeing that at 0.01 or 0.01 or something. It's like up to 0.10 cent, 9 cent. So they have jumped, but not which is really big jumps. But they just been doing it kind of slowly. So caught me off guard, but yeah, a couple went up to 170%, 80%, like I said, 120%. But let's not forget they're being pumped as well. When news like that comes out, there's groups out there everywhere.
Have your stops ready.
Hey, hey, listen, be careful when you get in these pump groups. I know some of you are in them. Be very careful because it happens fast. It goes up fast. It will drop extremely fast.
Somebody said something about alerts. I use Blockfolio, and also for what you should use. What is it? Twitter, like what they should use to check stuff.
Yeah, Twitter. Really, they use specific channels. I mean, I don't know. We might do some of the specific channels.
Yeah, we might actually do a whole show on that, just like a trader's toolkit type thing, so you know everything to do. But yeah, it's so much. If I start going through, I mean, Slack.
Put it on Kim.com. Y'all can buy it for 10 cents.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm over here like, I'm going to give you all my secrets right now. You're not going to watch me no more.
Yeah, exactly. We'll give you a few, I mean, so many different channels, avenues, ways to talk to people. You know.
The biggest thing I saw as well is it is good to try to build a community around it, which is why this community is so big and so huge because, you know, are there some, you know, scam artists, and of course you got to watch out for those people, but there's also good people that you can call or count on, text and rely on, and it's people you meet over the internet. Like, I mean, the internet is officially a world, and we're officially getting a currency for that world, okay? Like, that is what's going on here. Yeah. Most people are on their phone 24/7 anyway, okay? Like, you are plugged in, and we're getting a currency for it. Get to know these people in the world that's doing some of these things, some of the writers, some of the speakers and all that, and they'll help you out with building these community groups. They'll invite you to these groups where there are 100 or 200 people in a group, and now they can disseminate information in one area. That's what Telegram is good at for some of these groups. One big group disseminating information, because it is like literally you can spend all day reading and the next day be behind, because that's how fast the news is happening.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no problem, Antonio.
Sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
For the free Bitcoin, let's go ahead and throw that out there. What are we doing for the free Bitcoin?
For the free Bitcoin today, let's see. Tell us what do you think Bitcoin's price will be by the end of the year? Because I'm interested in some people who think it's actually not going to do as well as they think it will, because they'll think, oh, it'll go up and it'll go back down. Then there's some people who think it'll go to 10,000 by the end of the year. So I'm interested to see, what do you think the price will do and what will cause that? Will it be increase in hedge funds? Will it be increase in consumers? Will it be Lightning Network, now that you can buy or purchase goods at a store or whatnot? Tell us, you know, exactly what you think the price will be by the end of the year. At December 31st, what do you think it'll be in, you know, that course of action?
For those who are new, you have to wait until the video is over to post a comment, because we won't be able to see it on the live. It won't save. So once it's over, I'll post it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, people, wake up. We are in a world war right now. It's just, you know, which is, I don't know if it's fortunate or not. Luckily, I guess we're not killing people and people are dying. It's just all your personal information is getting stolen. Your identity is going to get stolen. And a lot of people are going to be very poor when this is all over. But at least you'll be alive. So that's a positive. I'm serious. At least you'll be alive. But we are in a world war. I mean, think about it. Like I said, I just got to go back to it. We literally are talking about all the world's superpowers and ancillary countries that are on this digital forefront right now, doing something with blockchain, Bitcoin, crypto, hacking. Literally everybody's on the playing field. We are at war, okay? So start thinking in that way when you start logging on online and trying to protect your data and all that. We'll do something on that as well. But I mean, it's just something you have to wake up to. Here we are, and good thing though we're all paying attention to what's going on.
Absolutely.
Anything else?
Keep it coming. That's all for me today. There's so much more to get in this week.
Hey,
like I said, glad to be back. Try to take me out.
Yeah, they're trying to get them out
and,
here.
Bitcoin Vegan was saying eat vegan. It was actually vegetables that took me out. So not a good argument, but
hey,
it's all good though.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like it and share it. You know, we're definitely trying to get the message out and build our community up so we can get more valuable information to share with you. And you know, you can follow us at Kirby Crypto, KRBECRYPTO on Facebook. Subscribe here to YouTube, Twitter, the Instagram page. It's a laughing joke, and that's it, right?
Absolutely.
All right, thanks for watching. Take care, everybody.
All right.
Bitcoin revolution. Here we go. I go live.